So let's rewind a little bit, because I think this is an important thing to talk about. I very much wrestled with this decision. It's not one that I made lightly, and it's not one that I took or made alone. And the reason I wrestled with it is the reason that I think a lot of progressives would wrestle with it, and that the movement would wrestle with it. You don't want to be co-opted. You don't want to be used just for appearances. And I'm not here to just kind of be entertained and just, told to move along and then essentially be ignored. And so I was concerned, and continue sometimes to approach this with some skepticism, because I am not here to be an accoutrement. I am not here to be window dressing or to be appeased to. And those were very real concerns with the establishment of any sort of panel or task force or what have you. And so I want to name that. And essentially the choice that I had was, do I say yes to this in order to get on the table and essentially try to voice people's concerns in this and to let those concerns be known? Or do I say no and walk away and just not be part of this process whatsoever? And I think there are legitimate arguments to be made on either end. But ultimately, one, I was, as many people know, a very strong supporter of Senator Sanders. And Senator Sanders believes very much that this is something that in a direction that he wants to take the campaign, and wants to make sure that we position progressive leaders as in very key positions to, at the very least, sway and push the Biden administration as much as possible to improve and better articulate progressive policy. And I think the thing that ultimately swayed me was that I convened a group of activists and folks from the movement and said, what do you think? And I think one of the things that was just kind of said was, listen, it might just be better to be in this room than not be in this room. I think I'm trying to approach this with skepticism, but also good faith. And I told the vice president myself to expect me to push. And I think he accepted that, and he knew that. And I think really what I want to pursue this appointment with is with maximum transparency into the process. And you know what? There is a gamble here. Could it lead to nothing? Sure, it could lead to nothing. Could it lead to something? Yeah, it could also lead to something. And I think that I am thankful that and I'm honored and I'm thankful that Bernie nominated and Biden both accepted my nomination as a co-chair of this. And I believe that in co-chairing this with Secretary John Kerry, that at least gives us a little bit of leverage to help drive the thing and move the thing. And so I am greatly looking forward that if there were any specific movements or outputs from this task force that our folks in our community would look at and say, okay, this is real and this is not just window dressing, I'd love to hear. Because ultimately I'm here in service of a working class progressive movement and to advance that movement. Sometimes it means getting your hands dirty, but it never means compromising our values. And so, sometimes we're at tables and we're in rooms and we have to figure it out. And it could be it could be a waste of time, it could not be. But we'll only find out if we're there. And so I just want to be fully transparent. I'm not here to tell you this is going to solve every single problem, but I wanted to give you insight into my thought process.
Team, subscribe for more of these type of videos.